As you guys know, my man right here, Beyond Paradise, everyone's favorite, Ronnie Boy, Lorenzo Callender. What's up, man? How you been?
What's up, man? It's so good. I'm doing good, man. I'm so glad you're doing this, bro. It's really it's a long time coming, you know. It's been 4 years. I was always wondering. Everybody, you're right. Everybody was so excited, and we had such great chemistry. Just again, we reignited. Yeah, so I'm glad you're doing this, man.
No, no, yeah. And it was funny because a lot of people, when they saw that, they went straight to a sequel, right? It was all like, oh, is it a sequel and stuff? And I don't know how, I mean, because where you situated at right now? You stay in Los Angeles.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still in LA, but I come back home
When,
often.
and when you come back home, you get, hey, you the guy.
Sometimes, every now and then, there's like every now and then. I look different now, yeah. But sometimes, it's kind of cool, like it happened with my wife one time. We were up on in Haleiwa, and somebody was like, "Hey, is that Ronnie boy you're with?" And my wife was like, "Yeah, it's my husband." I was like, "Oh
Yeah, every time people go, oh, how often? I go, if I leave the house, I'll get it at least once. And it's always like they kind of looking at you. I know you from somewhere. Then they start trying to guess my high school. And then finally they go, wait, you was in one movie.
yeah."
It's crazy when they go, oh wow, you guys you look different. And they don't realize because I think some of them they're just discovering it more recently, so they don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah, man. What's that now? It's like 28 years ago now,
Yeah.
something.
Because we filmed it what in the 96 to 97, right? The early 97. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. So like, yeah, we in 96, the December of 96, 97, we in January 97, we
right.
finished it. That's when we shot it, yeah. And then
Yeah. I remember it was like the day after. I know we flew up before to meet everybody, do the table read,
yeah, yeah.
and then we went back home, and then we came back. I think like the day after Christmas or something like that too, during the Christmas break because we had to do all that school scenes during the Christmas break first or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, you think I'll trust your memory. So think about it, man. It was like 28 years ago. I was 23 when we shot it. So
Yeah,
it's now been longer than I was alive at the time.
it's crazy how time goes back, but it's like a time capsule that we. Because yeah, I was like, I think I was the baby of the group. I was like 21, so I was just legal.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I remember. And then yeah, I made a joke about it because I did that the more recent movie, Growing Up Local, and I
Yeah.
was joking about how like in Beyond Paradise we was playing the high school seniors and whatnot, whatnot, and then this movie now I'm playing the dad of one of the high school seniors in the movie. It's like, oh man, but no, no, it's been good, man. So yeah, tell the world what you've been up to, what's been going on, because I know I get questions about you all the time, man. Like whenever they go, hey, you the guy, and they go, hey, what, you still keep in touch with Ronnie Boy?
Yeah, man. Man, it's been life has been crazy, in a good way, man. It's I right after Beyond Paradise, I was like, okay, time to go play with the big boys in LA. So came to LA and yeah, I just did the acting thing for several years, and I made a decent living doing that. Primarily that, always still had to have a day job. Yeah. It never quite got to where I couldn't have a day job. Um, but yeah, I just, I did that, commercials, episodic, some films, I did okay. But then it got to a point where there was 2 years where I didn't I didn't work at all, and at that point I was like 30, 34, something like that. And I decided, I was like, man, I gotta do something else, I gotta figure out a way to make money. And so I decided to go to law school of all things. And so yeah, so I went to law school, I did the evening program, spent 4 years doing that, and then worked for a big law firm. And after about 6, 7 years, I opened my own firm. And so I started doing that. And I discovered now that I have my own firm, I call the shots. I can do what I want, work as much as I want, come and go as I please. And the acting thing it's my love, right? It's what I feel like I'm meant to do. So I've never so I was like, you know what? Let me throw my hat back in the ring. So about 2, 3 years ago, I called up my agent in Hawaii and I was like, hey, remember me? You know, I kind of retired from acting in 2010. Yeah. And so then I was like, hey, I'm, like send me back out, if you can. And so they started sending me out. And so since then I've gotten a couple episodics. I was on Magnum and Matlock, the new Matlock, obviously. And small roles, but getting back in there again. And I did a couple of shorts recently, all in Hawaii, and you know, and then recently I started writing. In fact I just I was doing these shorts, right, and some really good ones, with people in Hawaii and this community that I've been involved with recently, um, named ICANN. Yeah, and it's been a great way to kind of come back into the whole acting thing. And so I decided, you know what? I got tired of auditioning and being like, "Sir, here's your coffee." You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
right.
was, man, it's like I got tired of, like one line auditions and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna write something for myself. I'm gonna write something that I can sink my teeth into and really do. So I'm actually in the middle of that right now. I'm in the middle of raising money for that, um, I've entered some writing competitions and been doing okay. So I'm gonna shoot that film,
Nice.
one way or the other this
Yeah.
year.
Oh, right on, man.
Yeah.
See, that's how it is. Yeah, I love that's my favorite thing is the auditions. Yeah, because I said I always like when I get auditions for parts with names. Because usually I
Yeah.
audition for like guy number four, number two. Kind of like I just get a number. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know I know how that goes. Oh, that's awesome, man. And then speaking of Beyond Paradise, um, how did Beyond Paradise come into your lap? Like, how did walk people through like the audition process? Because I know a lot of people they're not too sure how it works sometimes in the
Yeah.
process.
So, so it was weird. It was like I wasn't supposed to be in Hawaii anymore. I had graduated UH, and I already done a film in China, and I had done some commercials in Hawaii and all that. And and then so I decided I was going to go to LA, after I graduate, after UH. But then I got this other little project that kept me longer, and it kept me longer. And my sister was there, and I was like, I'm just gonna, stay with my sister for a while and just kind of cruise, right? Just kind of
Yeah,
cruise. And then the audition came for
yeah.
Beyond Paradise. And I remember telling my cousin Jason, we were chilling. He was still at UH, and I think we were at the apartments. And uh, I told him, I said, I'm not gonna go to this, man. This is I don't think I'll fit, And he was like, no, go, man, just go. What do you got to lose? So I went and I auditioned, and I auditioned for Keao, the Rastaman
Oh, you got the
scene.
audition with that one. Nice.
Rastaman. And,
Rastaman.
and Rastaman. Oh no, it was one of the Rastaman scenes. So um I did that, and David Cunningham, if I remember correctly, he was like, "Hey, go outside and check these sides out." And so it was for Ronnie Boy. So I went outside and looked him over, and I was like, yeah, I think this is more my speed. I don't remember much after that, if we got callbacks or if we just booked it. I don't remember, to be honest.
Probably
Uh,
because I remember mine one was the same. I actually got the audition for Keao and Ronnie, and then and I was like thinking the same thing like you. I was like, oh, this is two real good roles. I said because I was like, I felt like the Ronnie Boy role, like me looking at it, I was like, oh, that's the acting role. I can act in that one. And
yeah,
I was like, KL can be fun. I can just have fun with this one and whatnot. So like I went and I think for the auditions for the Ronnie Boy scene I had was the one in the jail where he talking with Mark, and
yeah,
the KL one was when I talk about the menehunes at the beach and stuff like that, right? So I do the menehune one. So I read Keao first. And I remember I read the scene and they were just like, okay, thank you. And then that was it. And I was thinking, hey, what I like read for Ronnie Boy in my head. I was like, hey, I never get to read for Ronnie Boy. Was anyone shot? And then I never hear nothing, maybe like a couple weeks, and then I got the call that yeah, that I got KO.
Yeah, I think David is good that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
David, for those, like David Cunningham, the director, he was pretty decisive. He knew what he wants, and when he saw it, he had a pretty good idea of what he wanted, I think.
yeah,
And when he saw it in people, he's just like, okay, that's it.
yeah. No, it's true because I remember when we went when swiped the audition tapes because we was bored. Remember, we was bored, so we found the audition tapes and we gonna watch them, and it was kind of trippy watching them because you kind of watch them and you kind of go like, okay, I can see why they went with that one because I remember when we didn't watch Kalani's audition as Zulu. Like
Yeah,
if you watching him as an actor, you go, "Oh, that's not a strong audition." But if you watch his personality and how he carried himself, he was like, "Oh, that's Zulu right there, through and through."
yeah, yeah.
And
That's
then
him.
and then seeing like when you saw yours, and then my favorite was watching the Mark Thompson auditions because they're always doing the scene where they get choked by Ronnie Boy, and we was all seeing like how many of them would do the self choke, and they choked themselves in the audition, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh man, I forgot all about that, man. You're right. I forgot all about that.
I
That
remember
was
some stuff. There's some stuff I don't remember, but it was I had such a blast during that movie, man. I tell people when they watch, I go, when you see me, Lorenzo, and Kalani laughing and having fun on screen, that's legit. Like we was having so much fun, man.
yeah, that was Man, it was a godsend, man. It was one of those things, one of those moments in time, yeah, that
Yeah.
you just can't capture that. It was that like lightning in a bottle. Yeah, you just can't capture that again. Well, I mean, that us at that time, at that age, everything all together was just it was just incredible, man. It was so much fun. And all the different personalities, but it was all cool. It was great, man.
Yeah, that's
So
what was
much.
kind of cool because we all had our own personalities, but then when you put us together, we just would mesh. Like we
Yeah.
got along. I don't think the three of us, the whole time we just had a blast. Like and we knew each other's process,
Yeah.
and we always respected each other's process and how we go about preparing and whatnot, and we never stepped on each other's toes. And I remember we just had fun, bro. We just
Yeah, and I think we all wanted each other to succeed, you know what I mean? Because it was such a collaborative kind of ensemble,
yeah,
It's like we all wanted like when I saw you do good, it's like some of the stuff you did, I was just so amazed, bro. I was like, man, she just had me rolling all the time. And I was like, man, that guy, it was so amazing to watch you work. And Kalani, it was just like he was just natural.
yeah,
He was just so natural in everything he did. So and it's so many other guys, you know what I mean? Troy, everybody, it's
yeah.
yeah,
Troy was the best because like we first met Troy because I remember at the airport the first time was me, you, and Troy because we was the Oahu actors flying in. And then we just got along right off the bat. I remember the first thing was like, "Who you playing?" And then we just started making fun, like how most local brothers do. We just started making fun of the script, our names, and all this kind of stuff. And then we missed our flight. And then, I remember we missed our flight because we was having too much fun. And then we got there, and then everybody thought we already knew each other because we had such
yeah.
camaraderie already when we came in there. So like, but even like with him, right? You meet him, and he's nothing like Aku at all.
Oh man,
Like he's sort of opposite.
yeah, he's the biggest teddy bear,
Yeah,
nicest family man. Because he was the only one I think at the time that had like family,
yeah,
and he was already locked in. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And but he's the nicest dude, man.
Yeah. And he's a good audience too. So if you make him laugh, it's good. But his thing was always, this too, like he always like when he's shaking, you always gotta fill up your biceps and
Yeah, yeah.
traps and
Oh,
stuff. Like you always gotta measure, right? You always gotta check everything.
big body.
Yeah, wow. It's funny too because I remember, and I think you was very good about making things as good as possible for us because we when we did the movie we never care like well we really wanted to make one good movie that kind of win that local people can watch and not everybody can like or whatever. But for the most part, people go like, oh yeah, you can see these guys when put their everything into it, and they're not half-assing it or anything like that. They really want to put the best product possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and David was really good as well to give us a lot of freedom in certain instances,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because it's there were certain things that we were like, in the script, we're like, I don't know if I would say that,
Yeah.
or the fight scene for the biggest one for me was the fight scene with Troy, it's a Ronnie Boy and Aku, or you guys are fighting after school, right, on
Oh,
campus in the parking lot. It's like, we had there was an old school choreographer there, a guy who used to do like westerns, you know what I mean? And so like they brought him, oh, LA, whatever, whatever. But he was having us come in like, okay, when you come in, you gotta like go like this and go like this and go
yeah.
like me and Troy were like, man, if we do that, all our friends are gonna laugh at us. And I was like, it was like, there's no way, man. It's like we have to do this, real,
Yeah.
and as real as possible. So David was like, okay, look, you guys just learn the camera angles and stuff like that from him, but choreograph the fight like you would want it. So Troy and I just got together and we were like, hey, let's just scrap. Like,
Yeah.
how would you just scrap? You know?
And it worked. I remember I purposely never go on set that day. I was off because I never like watched the filming. I wanted to watch them for the first time in the movies
Yeah.
in the theater. And then, oh yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that's my favorite scene
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in the like in general, like the movie. That's my favorite scene, just from everything, just to build up. Like Troy's mocking you, and then you just running up, and then this fight with the piano,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
even the extras was good because a lot of them never know exactly what you guys were doing. I remember get one shot, the part where you go under the trunk, I mean the truck, and you bashing his head
Right.
on the truck. You can see one extra, like when lean over for see what like for get a better look, and when saw what you was doing, when literally you turn around like what the like a real reaction, like holy. And no, yeah, that fight was, and you gotta have that kind of fight because the build up the whole movie between the two guys was the
Yeah.
tension was building, yeah, throughout the whole movie. So, if you have a big fight at the end and it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Exactly.
ah,
No, I like it because like like David again with Ronnie Boy's character, just like he's like, don't say anything, just go up and just crack him.
yeah,
And that's what it was. It was like, let's go,
yeah.
you know. So yeah. Uh,
Nowadays, you'd be like, you like what? And then you pull out your phone and go, what you said? What you said, bro? What you said? Are you like, go? And then nothing happened.
I haven't really thought about that until just now, but like, could you make that same kind of film the same way we did it now?
Yeah,
Like with the fights and the drugs and the alcohol and the kids getting crazy. Like, I wonder if nowadays
yeah,
people be like, oh,
yeah. The best was when people would be like some of the criticisms I remember I used to hear over time would be like, oh, that's not how it is. I go, where you live? And then they would tell me where they live. I go, okay, that explains it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not it's
you're
not the
right,
story about all of Hawaii. It,
right,
it was a story about this group of friends in this town during that time. And that's what people I think in general, like that's why a lot of Hawaii movies can get criticized because people tie it in with everything. And it's like, no, you gotta realize we just tell you an isolated story about this group of guys and their experience. That might not be your experience, but that was their experience. And from what we know, that was the director David's, a little bit of his experiences, embellishing whatever, but that was
right.
based on him and his three friends and their kind of growing up in Kona and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I mean, like I remember seeing a lot of that stuff. Not all of it, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Where I grew up, and but yeah, it's to say, it's funny because like when a lot of people see it, they're like, is that real? Like, is that like man? It's like, yeah, it's like there some places, not like you said, not all places,
yeah,
not every group of friends, but there's different stories to be told. Yeah,
yeah.
and that was definitely one of them.
Now that's the thing too, and I think, but for David, that was like his first feature.
It was
And
his
he was a
first.
young guy too. I think he was like 25, 26. So he was a young boy too.
Yeah,
So it was like all of us kind of all in. We all in it together. Even the crew. That was like one of that whole movie went spoil me because the next projects I did, I was expecting all the projects will be like that experience where just everybody just so good, so aloha, so everybody having a good time, you know what I mean? And if people stressing, like if David was stressing, we didn't see it. Like he was good about always, in front of us, like always like I'm the director. I mean, I got it going on, I know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, it was so good, man. And, like everybody, like even a lot of the local, like a lot of the local boys and everything, Pancho and some of the other guys,
Yeah,
taking us around, taking us to their homes,
yeah,
you know. We had like Kanikapila every other day up in somebody's room, and everybody,
yeah, yeah.
everybody was just making up stories. Remember we made up what was the name of that song, man? The Kama Aina song. Uh,
Oh yeah, we was trying to.
because that was the name of the movie in the
Yeah, yeah,
beginning,
that's right. Yeah, Kamaina.
Kama Aina. And so we were making songs about that. It was just so much fun, man.
Yeah, we was doing anything for try get any kind of song we made into the movie. It's like, David, you gotta put this song in the movie. David, you gotta check this out. And he was like, oh yeah, guys, like,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right, guys.
yeah. Nah, it was good, man.
Like when you watch, like, what is your favorite scene of yours? And then what is your favorite scene in general from that movie?
Wow, that's a tough one, man. There's so many cool little bits here and there. My favorite scene of mine. Well, I mean, to me, the fight, there's only two scenes that I really remember for me, man. It's like the fight scene is my funnest, coolest scene because we got to make it as real as possible, right?
Yeah,
We got to make it um we got to make it, our way. And we had, I think that's why a lot of people resonate with that. Yeah. A lot of local boys, they they
yeah,
they resonate, they say, yeah, yeah, okay, that's how it is, and that's how it is. And it was so much fun to be able to do that. And we just threw everything we had. Like we were tossing each other
yeah,
and on the ground, and it was just we were like, okay, we got one take, bro. It's like the one where like we're like I like
yeah.
basically suplex him, like
No
toss.
cuts, no pads, just let's
No.
go.
And I was like, all right, man, we got one take of this one, all right, because because it hurts. Um, and it was good, man. So that for that feeling, but where I really got to, as far as an actor, it has to be the last scene with Mark.
Mhm.
It really was one of the first times I got to really flex that muscle on, like, for real, not just in like acting class or something, but like when the time was going, and I had to do it twice. I don't know if you remember. I had to do it twice because the first time we did it, there was a leak in the camera, a light leak in the camera. So it was unusable. They couldn't use it. They're like, oh man, you gotta do it again. I was like, I gotta do it again. I was like, that's hard, man.
Yeah,
That's not even, to get into that emotional state and to get there and to like hold it while everything is going around. Like, okay, oh no, wait, hold on. Oh, I gotta do this light. And you're like, okay, ready, okay, let's go. The second time we did it, there was a room that I could just go and be by myself. I just was in that room and I turned off the lights and I just waited. And I think Priscilla was there and I had somebody I was like, just come get me right when you guys are ready, just come get me so I could just go in. And so it was really good. It was really fun and educational for me, to be able to do that. Um, my favorite scene is I think it's not it's I guess it is a scene. It's the last part when Ronnie Boy puts in the tape
Mhm.
for Mark. He
Yeah,
puts it in, he presses play, the music changes, and every one of the boys, Keao's in bed, watching it. All the boys are watching it at the same time, yeah. And you see all the videos that Mark has taken throughout the entire movie. And that part, he nailed that part. That scene, the last scene there where we go through and all our different reactions, and we end up everybody cracks a smile.
Yeah.
Kalani steps off the bus to go to university, and
Yeah.
like Priscilla, has the little baby is born.
Yeah.
All that that to me that wrapped up the movie so well. Like that scene, that final scene where we're all watching, what we all just went through, and we weren't together anymore.
Yeah. That scene is kind of, for me, it's kind of a little bit meta in the sense that, because when you watch, because a lot of that we just would film on the side, like we'd be filming other locations. Then, okay, let's film one real quick stuff of you guys playing in the water with your guys' surfboards, or let's film
Yeah,
you guys just talking on the beach, and we just shoot these random stuff throughout, and we don't, it's all out of context, right? And
yeah,
then you watch the movie, then you come to the end, and you seen Keao, Zulu, Ronnie Boy, and Mark having all this memories and time spent, and then at the same time, we watching going, oh shit, I remember that day when we was hanging out at YPO and this day and stuff.
yeah,
And that's how it is now. Like if I see the movie, now it's more like, oh, I remember that day and what was going on
yeah,
that day and what we was doing and stuff we was talking about or
yeah,
whatnot. So watching that was kind of cool because it was like a little video diary of our time making
yeah,
the movie too. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean, especially when we were in we were in the snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were up in Mauna Kea, and I remember at one point, I think I was talking to Dave, and he was like, like, will you go no shoes, no shirt? One time I was like, all right, let's go. Like whatever David wanted, I was like, let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's
What's
get it done. Let's go. Hurry up, roll, let's go, let's go.
let's go.
We're gonna do
But
this once.
you can see like in one of the one is like I kind of like I was all this Roddy boy, this tough guy. He gets hit with one piece of snow. He's like, "Ah, bro, it was cold,
He's
man.
like,
I
that's
had no
enough.
shoes." But I always look at that. I'm like, "Ooh, that's not the hardest." I throw one, I get hit. I'm like,
But for me, I think the one of the like stuff I remember was like, and you was part of this one too because you had that one line that I always wanted to change in the script, And so like the whole time me and you was like talking about it, I go, and I remember I kept telling, I'm gonna change it, I'm gonna change it, I'm gonna change it. And for those, when you watch the movie, it's the part after he drowned and the boys bring him out of the water, and Kale's kind of like, oh, he mock it, and he says the slush head is Maki or something like that, slush head. And I remember slush head. And I remember asking the extras that, like all the local boys, hey, this is because it's pigeon different area. So go, hey,
yeah,
slush head, that's one corner thing or something. And the extras like, well, we never heard that. So I was like, I kind of say that. So then I remember he was like, yeah, just change it there. You can do it. You can do it. And so we did the take, and it's all serious, and you guys all doing your thing. And then I say the line, and I'm like, oh man, the brother is Make. And we do the scene, and then cut. And then we go, okay, we're gonna set up the camera, and they're setting up for us to do it again. And right before he says action, he's like, oh, by the way, and then Dave is like, oh, by the way, Daryl, the line is slush head. It's okay. And I saw you just laughing. And I was like, oh man, the one time he gave me so much leeway, and that's the one time he never gave me leeway on
I,
that one.
I thought you were going to say there was another one too. I think. Do
Oh,
you
which was
remember? It was like when you're talking to I think your mom and her boyfriend. He was like, "You go to hell, and you go with her, and you
oh,
go
yeah,
with her."
yeah, I wanted to change that one too.
Yeah,
Go to hell. That's how
yeah,
they spelled it. Go to hell.
and
Because
you
I
go
didn't
with
even
her.
realize the original script was more like, oh, it was like on hard R.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
F you too.
Yeah.
Go F yourself was like was like
Yeah. I mean,
make
I couldn't understand why they, I think
yeah.
that they made a business decision.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a smart move too. I think it works better too. Like we didn't even have to have that kind of
Right.
language because we had the intensity. We had enough intense action, enough
Yeah.
drama that would carry the movie anyways. And more people can watch. That's why like now you get like 13-year-olds and stuff who go, oh bro, I love that movie, bro. That's my movie.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I've heard, I've had people tell me that they've watched it in school. I've had
yeah,
people tell me that they've watched it in rehab,
yeah,
different rehab centers and
yeah.
stuff. So it's interesting how far it's gone. It's and as far as I know, it's really like Hawaii's first truly independent feature film.
Yeah.
I don't know of anyone before that. Because even like North Shore and stuff, that wasn't independent, I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That had like, you know, celebrities and, backing of
That had one
money.
studio behind it and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Like
exactly.
this was like true grassroots David financing, looking for producers, financiers, and everything to get this movie made. I remember
Yeah.
even when I got the audition, I was like, "This is not even a real movie." I was thinking, because in Hawaii, we get so many of those kind of auditions for these movies,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
nothing happens with them. You never hear about them, you never see them.
Right,
Um,
right.
and so this was one of the times, like, yeah. So I kind of went in with that attitude of like, I don't know what this is, but why not just try them?
Yeah.
And then I remember the first day on set, I was like going, oh, this one real movie, this one, this one actual movie. Look at the full crew and everything. Oh man,
And but we all like I think, everybody pulled together, yeah, because it was a real movie, but the budget wasn't crazy.
yeah,
So like everybody had to, everybody was gonna stay in that one house. And
right,
then, me and you saw the shed and we're like, hey, how about that? How about that place? It was this, we called it the crack house, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's
It-
like now we don't need to stay in the big house with everybody. We gonna be on our own in a little
yeah.
bungalow.
It was a little bungalow. We had to clean it out. It was like a storage room.
Yeah,
But hey, it was cool, man. It
yeah.
it, it, it worked.
And one of them got a shot in the movie because Zulu's room in the last montage is my room in the crack house.
Oh, is it? I didn't even
Yeah,
know
so the
that.
one where Zulu watching the video,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's, that's my room in the
Oh
bungalow.
man. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, as you can see, but then spruce them up a little bit with the surfing posters and everything like that, though.
Yeah, but we were bare bones.
Oh
I
yeah,
think, I think we had like mattresses on the ground and stuff.
that's fine. What was like? Yeah, we need our privacy, bro. We need our space to prepare and you know
Yeah,
that.
really.
But that movie is funny because it still holds up, right? And then like you say, you get new generate. Like every time that movie get waves, like when it first came on in the theaters, it was like, oh, everybody was talking about it,
Yeah,
and it kind of went away. Then it came out way later on DVD, and then this new group of people and start discovering the movie,
yeah,
and then the thing went end up on YouTube and whatever, and then like this whole lot of, and then people share it, right? They go, oh, you got to check out this movie,
yeah.
and then yeah, so it's like every time like, oh, and the best is though when people go, you guys got to make one sequel. I go, well, it's like, bro, we all old already, like it's like way
Yeah.
beyond paradise at this point.
But you know what, man? It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't think that's a bad idea, man. There's so many possibilities,
And there's an
and
audience for it, at least in Hawaii.
yeah,
We're gonna have people in Hawaii gonna be watching that, and I think you could just tell one story. It's just like with anything, right? You get the right story in
right.
place, and a good script, and
Yeah,
you literate with good actors and everything throughout for all the roles, big and small.
yeah.
Definitely can put something together.
And it was great because everybody was from Hawaii, like except for Mark, and they kept it real too. They brought some guy from LA, they brought Roy,
Yeah.
they brought the LA guy from LA, and everybody else was living here. Everybody else was from here,
And there's some
and
people don't realize. I go and they go when people, oh, they got to use local actors. I go Beyond Paradise was all local actors. So even the other Howley characters were
yeah,
from Hawaii. Like they might not look it, but they
right,
was all local, born and raised. You know what I mean? And the key is they're local. We're not saying they're Hawaiian. We're not saying they're
right. And there's a
local.
difference,
Like yeah,
there's a big difference, like no, nobody's claiming that,
yeah,
I've made it clear, from the beginning. Because some people will say, oh, you're Hawaiian. I was like, no, I'm not Hawaiian, but people are like, what? No. They're like,
yeah,
no, but it didn't matter, it was like there were people from the same neighborhood, people from the same, place. And Hawaii it's a good mix of people, and I think they captured that.
yeah. Because we definitely never like all three of us never all look the same. So it wasn't like you get three local friends and they all look exactly like every local you see in a movie or something like that. It was like
Right.
it was all three different types, and we represent each kind of style of
Right.
local brother. Then that's the truth. That's why local people could relate to it and they could gravitate. That's why you get like, oh, I get on cousin just like Ronnie Boy, or oh, my
Yeah.
uncle is just like Zulu, or oh, I get on brother just like Keao. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
get that kind.
Yeah, because like I knew people in high school that, like that were just like Ronnie Boy, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like I remember seeing fights maybe it was on campus that they go across the street, and then in the park, and
Yeah,
it's like that stuff happens, man.
it does. Yeah, no, I think the cool thing about the movie, it's the fact that it still has that staying power. Like people still love it. People watch it multiple times. Like I
Yeah,
get people who are like that's their comfort movie, like just to kind of sit down and just watch.
yeah.
I remember
And-
Blockbuster telling me that one time I was at Blockbuster and somebody had recognized me from the movie, and they told me that they don't want that movie anymore because people would rent them and don't bring them back. So they just steal them. They would just steal the movie and never bring them back. So they just stopped putting them on the shelf because people would just steal them.
Oh man, that's funny, man. Yeah, no, it's yeah, like, and now it's funny because now I see the memes and some of the things that I think you've been involved with too. I've been watching some of your stuff and just cracks me up. Although I gotta say, man, you hit me pretty hard on the slapping of Pancho's leg. I think you may you got me
Oh,
kind of
oh
going
yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
The one is the shaking. I was like,
I
what
was
is that?
like,
And then they go make a comment like, oh, the thigh slap. Okay. I was like, we can edit this together.
it's like, well, what you
Um,
doing there, Rodney?
but just like with Ronnie Boy, everybody gonna say that behind his back, but nobody gonna say that to Ronnie Boy's face.
No, it's all fun, man. It's like I see it like it's some of the other some of the other like IG accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
Every now and then, somebody,
They pop up
oh,
on clip.
yeah, clip.
Yeah.